Technology is having an impact in the franchise sector in the GCC in a number of ways. Online ordering is becoming a significant portion of the market, and so many franchisees are in the process of renegotiating contracts or discussing with their franchisors how a franchisee can include online ordering in their contracts and in their exclusive territory. We're seeing it in the restaurant sector in terms of the customer experience. We're seeing brands come through now where a customer may order on a touch screen, they'll put in their credit card details and they'll collect their product and may never deal with a staff member at all. We're also seeing it in terms of delivery providers that are outsourced. Franchisees are concerned about this in terms of the fees that they're paying. Franchisors are concerned about quality issues because there now is a second layer of outsourcing and it's quite difficult to control the customer experience. They're also missing out on the customer data, so we're seeing discussions where franchisors are thinking about entering into the contracts direct with the outsourced providers and then having clauses dealing with the data so that consumer spending and consumer behaviour can be tracked, whereas at the moment these outsourced providers are capturing the data and keeping it, and there is the risk of those businesses potentially entering into competing businesses themselves. For the immediate future, people need to be thinking about the VAT. It's coming into effect on the 1st of January 2018 in both the UAE and Saudi Arabia. At the moment, the regulations are a bit light, so we expect a lot of clarifying regulations to come out as to exactly how it will be implemented in certain businesses. Franchisors need to be thinking about it in terms of their franchisees are going to have increased compliance cost and record keeping. For franchisees that don't have their VAT systems lined up, they could be facing fines of up to 20,000 dirhams per event. Also, there are other penalties and fines that are in place for those who haven't registered in time or who fail to report. Also, Saudi Arabia have a draft franchise law. It's likely to be a template for other GCC countries to follow in the future. We're expecting that to potentially come into effect at the end of this year. So that will be interesting because it includes a number of disclosure obligations. So we expect to continue to see franchising as being the preferred model for international brands to go into the GCC market. Those brands that are using innovative technologies are doing very well, and we expect that to continue, especially with the very young demographic of the GCC who are very tech savvy. So those franchisors who are looking at the region need to make sure that they are dealing with things such as VAT, online ordering and disruptive technology in terms of the customer experience. And so we're expecting to see more complex franchise agreements and more detailed commercial negotiations around these technologies.